Hey there everyone, I am Shufflecat and this is a Shuffle Showcase. This time I'm playing Warden against a Double Igniter and Alchemist team. With me I have an Alchemist and a Reaver, showing off these female outfits here. So I thought that this replay was kind of interesting given the Double Igniter on the other team kind of makes it a little bit difficult for Warden to deal with, given how a lot of people have been saying that she doesn't deal with ranged very well. So because of that, I'm just kind of trying to put on pressure. I'm laughing because I'm looking at all these M1s I'm missing, and that's just kind of hilarious to me. But anyway, trying to play kind of like a little bit of support, sitting back, putting on M1 pressure. I'm not getting a lot of energy. I mean, you can see the Reaver's already got his ultimate right off the bat, and I'm still at 53%. And taking myself a whole ultimate to the face. But it's actually working pretty well because I'm giving the Igniter something to think about instead of trying to kill the Reaver, and that is what's really important. I might not be doing a lot of damage, but I'm also indirectly preventing some damage by making them think about something, just distracting people a little bit. Also, somewhat of note, you may see I'm using the Metal Warden Armored Edition, the Armored Metal Warden or something like that. I just thought that looked better. I kind of want to note that it appears that she's wearing the grade 11 icon on her shoulders, which I don't know why I find that to be kind of amazing. Anyway, you can see here, once again, I'm giving the Metal Warden something to think about, trying to M1 pressure her, and you can see she's not really healing the Igniters up all that much. Because when you've got somebody throwing big energy bolts at your face, like constantly, like bam, 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 it's a little bit hard to think about somebody else. Also, I seem to reposition myself pretty often using my EX2, which is of course that jump on your Q button, and sometimes it gets me in trouble. I tend to get myself like in the middle of a bunch of people, and I think it takes a little bit of practice to kind of figure out which exactly person you should be jumping on, because you definitely should be jumping on somebody, because otherwise you're not using up all of your damage, and especially not using that huge slow. If nobody is aware of that, EX slow actually takes you all the way down to 0 movement speed, and then you gradually build back up to 100% over. How long is it again? It's 3 seconds. Yeah, so that's a pretty long time in Bloodline Champions terms. I mean, that's like virtually an eternity if you're trying to get out of somebody's ultimate. And it's definitely, yeah, that's where I was going with that. It's something that you have to use against someone, is that EX2. It's got to land somewhere. However, at the same time, you have to make sure that it's not on somebody who can immediately get backed up by someone else. That was actually kind of good right there. That jump is a example of what I'm talking about, because I was actually jumping away from the Igniter. And also, I know I kind of missed this a little bit farther back. You saw me using that EX1 behind the pillar, just because of how long it takes to use that. It is absolutely necessary to sometimes heal yourself. But Metal Warden, I mean, once you've taken that damage, it's so hard to take it back off again and heal yourself up. I mean, unless if you've got a really good healer who's just hitting all of his M2s. So Metal Warden is one of those characters where it's like, don't take the damage in the first place so you don't have to worry about healing it up later. And right there, we really wanted to focus on that Igniter because, you know, he had his deadly injection on him, and I just wanted to put a weaken on him and slow him down and hit him with as many M1s in the back as I could. Also paying attention to see if he got a shield on, because I wanted to break it off using my M2 as quickly as possible so that that deadly injection would have hit. So you see, we kind of got a little bit positioned up in this area where I believe that the Igniters are at their strongest. And I probably could have escaped from that situation because I had my space up, but I was probably paying a lot of attention to how much damage I was causing with that ultimate on the igniter, and instead of going forward with that, I probably could have backed up a bit and let that ultimate do its damage. So here we are, final round of the game. Whoever wins this wins the whole game. So this is very important here. Trying to kind of play a little bit of a range game, zoning out that rune. In fact, actually, now that I've grabbed the rune, I don't know why I'm still zoning it so badly. But after that, I did grab it. Ooh, here it is where I jumped in, got myself in the middle of 3 people, but I actually performed that at the right time when the Reaver was also jumping in, so that's probably why I ended up surviving that. I actually did it twice, as you can see there. So here we are, once again, I'm way up here, my healer's down here, and between us is an Igniter and a Alchemist. So that was kind of a good jump for me to get down here. Evening it up, now it's a 2 versus 2, this Alchemist and this Igniter. And I'm not sure why I was cancel casting that. I know at the time that I had a good reason for it. I think I was waiting for the Alchemist to use her sleep. I'm not quite sure. So at this point, I'm panicking because it's like I don't want to die. If I die, then we definitely lose. And of course I take that ultimate, I'm like, no, no, no. So a couple of very good heals on me, a barrier, I'm running away, I need to use my EX1. Where is my EX1? There it is. Okay, so back into the fight. And of course he living flames my M2, so I have no damage and I have nowhere to be. I was stuck in that ultimate for a little while. So here we are, we have to reset because I have 0 cooldowns. And very lucky, spell block hits that Alchemist. I actually, I remember that I didn't even realize that I hit her until after I heard the Alchemist death, and I was like, wow! Oh. So that was game number 1, going into game number 2 here in a couple seconds. And in game number 2, I teamed up with that Alchemist that we saw in the last game, and this Gunner here. We're going up against the Herald, a Vanguard, and a Nomad. So we've got the Nomad that is of course ranged and I'm going to be weak against. And I kind of like to pay attention to which side of the map people are spawning on. You see that the ranged is spawning on the same side of the map as I am, which means that we're going to have a lot of encounters with each other because we have the shortest distance from each other. And I pay attention to that because if I'm on the same side as somebody that my bloodline is weak against, then I kind of make it a point to try and avoid that person a little bit. But this time I didn't do too good of a job, of course, being right in the face of that Nomad right when he was using his ultimate. But still going back, that's very important. I probably would be strong against the Vanguard. However, he's on the other side, so that would require me, I mean, especially since my ultimate isn't a teleport, it's just a speed buff. That would require me to go to the other side of the map and kind of like waste a little bit of distance. And what that would also do, because I would have a crooked pathway going there, I would lose some distance onto the energy rune. So that would kind of fight against my zoning in that sense. So you can see me kind of almost purposefully trying to go up against this Nomad. Of course I get the Chrono Flux on me, and that means I have to go back a little bit, trying to avoid damage from the constant onslaught of boomerangs. And of course I get stuck in this corner and there's really not all that much I can do about it. So try and use the jump in order to get away, but of course that puts me right back into another corner, and at this time I don't have my Q to use it. I mean, my Q to push anybody back. Somehow miraculously killing that Vanguard kind of puts us at the advantage, but of course naturally that can easily be lost at any moment here. And I'm trying to zone out this Nomad so that my teammates can 2v1 this Herald. Try and finish him off. Get the spell block, but if I would have charged it for a little bit longer, I probably would have killed him. That's also one of those things that's a little bit difficult about Metal Warden is you have to ask yourself the question, should I continue charging this M2 for a little bit longer to get the extra damage and the extra duration on the spell block, or is this person going to react to the fact that I'm charging it in a proper amount of time to actually dodge it or use another ability that helps them counter it or something like that. And you can see right here the point that I'm coming across about the somebody spawning on the same side of you means that you're going to have more encounters with them. I really probably should be making the effort to go over to the other side of the map. I mean, as you can see, all of these games we've been playing in what I like to call the spawn box, way back here where we spawn just before the pillars and stuff like that. And if we're going to be playing in the spawn box, then I might as well be sacrificing that distance on the rune. So I believe here in a second we're going to see me. Yep, there I go. I'm crossing over to this other side because I want to have more encounters against this Vanguard. I messed up that E. I tried to put it just before the pillars, but I kind of missed it, I suppose. And here we go. We're going back against this Vanguard. I'm trying to peel him off. I've got my space up so I can knock him, but actually knocked him towards it. And I did intentionally take that ultimate to the face. Mostly because Vanguard's ultimate does more damage the farther he runs. So since I was like right next to him, it means that I took less damage than the Alchemist would have, but I also blocked it so that the Alchemist couldn't take it. So I guess that was kind of good. However, the Gunner eventually went down to the Vanguard, and I can say that that game probably went down to the fact that I had too many encounters with the Nomad, and I just wasn't able to peel the Vanguard off. So that's it for the replay section. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. Here's another thing about Metal Warden that I found about. Gunner's Execute will penetrate several targets doing less damage each time. It even goes through a person shielded by a tank. However, Metal Warden's R ability destroys projectiles that hit it. Thus, Execute cannot penetrate through people with Iron Claw on them. This makes Metal Warden special because she has the only ability that blocks Execute and can be used on someone other than yourself. Obviously, it's situational because someone in the shield still takes 20% damage, but it's worth it if your team happens to be lined up for an Execute. That's all for today. See you later.